Welcome back to Mind Pump TV. I'm your host, Adam Schaefer. We're moving along this bicep tutorial, and I'm going to show you guys a preacher curl. I'm also going to show you how to get a little creative because not all gyms have a preacher bench, so I'm going to show you how to use a incline bench to do a preacher curl. And in a previous video that I talked about elbow positioning being one of the most important things when doing a bicep curl. So when we do biceps, one of the best things that you can do to vary your bicep exercises is the position of the elbow. So I typically like to do an exercise with my elbows down by my side, my elbows positioned out in front of me, and then my elbow up high by my head somewhere. So we've already addressed the other two elbow positions. This is the third and final one. We're going to do a preacher curl. So you'll see when I lock my shoulders, I'm going to put my armpit right on this bench, get my arm flat and lined up on here so it's nice and supported. But this is nice, it's going to lock my shoulder into position. That way I can just sit here and concentrate on flexing the bicep. So most gyms will have a nice incline bench that you can use. Some of them will actually already have a preacher bench where you could sit down and do this exercise. It's probably a little bit more comfortable, but this works just fine. I just straddle behind the bench, lock the shoulder into position, and then I'm going to grab my dumbbell and then I'm going to do my preacher curl from here. All right, let's talk about posture and tempo when you're in this position here. So when you're doing a preacher curl, it's actually really easy to get into the posture that you need to be. Like other exercises that I've demonstrated with biceps where you're standing up or sitting on the bench, there's a lot more room for air. With a preacher bench, if you do this correctly, it's actually pretty nice. It actually supports the body, keeps you in a fixed position. Now, common mistakes I see when they position themselves is some people will just rest their arm on there and they'll have this big gap underneath their armpit. You want to get down on there. So if you're on a seated one, you'll move the bench down so you're nice and low and locked in. If you're on an incline, I can adjust that by bending down, bending at the knee, whatever position I need to get. See, I'm a tall guy, so if I were to just put my arm here, I'd have this gap. Now, why I don't want to do that, when I start curling, it's going to allow my shoulders and my upper body to kind of move. So I want to get in a position where I can get all the way down on this, and then it locks that shoulder, and it keeps my upper body stationary while I do this curl. So that's probably the number one mistake when you see people doing a preacher curl. The other thing is, when they come up, where the bicep is fully flexed is right here. So notice where my elbow is positioned here. Once I bring the wrist all the way up, the bicep is fully flexed. That's full range of motion. Now, if I go here, and the elbow comes off of the bench, I'm now starting to incorporate my shoulder for the rest of the movement. So you do not want to see the elbow come up off the bench. That's going to kick the shoulder in, so I want to keep the elbow position there. I want to keep the wrist in a fixed position the entire time that I curl. I want to come all the way up. I want to squeeze at the top, squeeze the bicep, not keep moving, keep it pinned down there, squeeze and flex the top, and then I want to resist it on the way down. The way down, the negative, should take about 4 seconds like the other movements we taught. So good 4 seconds on the way down, open it all the way up. The very bottom, here's another mistake that a lot of people make, is they let it just fall down and they lock out. That's how you can hurt your elbow. You want to keep tension, so keep the bicep tense and flex. You do want to take it through full range of motion, so let it open all the way up, but keep the bicep still flexed so there's tension in the muscle and you're not stressing the joint. So you want to open it all the way up, come up and flex the top, squeeze the bicep, keep the elbow down there, and then resist nice and slow and controlled about 4 seconds on the way down. All right, if that video helped you guys out, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Also, if you guys have more questions regarding the cues or other points, guys, just leave them in the comments below. We'll be coming back, visiting periodically, and answering your questions. Also, if you like the information that we provided in this video, we have tons of free information. You guys can go to mindpumpfree.com or click the link below.